Hello and welcome back to Socks and Sandals. Got another 2024 pickups video here. This one is chock full of Xbox 360. Probably would have been better for me to release this like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago when the whole influx of fucking Xbox 360 FOMO buying videos started, but you know, I didn't want this isn't what I only do on this channel, so I didn't want to just only be doing these like pickups videos. But I've got just an absolute unit of a stack of Xbox 360 games here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, and I guess we'll do the one original Xbox game I picked up this month, and that is Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. So I got a new camera. I don't know if the picture quality is as good as my other one, but I have a screen on it, so I can actually see where I'm at and where everything else is in the shot. So that's cool. But yeah, Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. This is a Blockbuster exclusive. It wasn't, I haven't heard great things about it, but I mean, just, if you've seen my other pickups video, you know what grabs my attention when it comes to this sort of stuff. So obviously I had to get it. But I think it was Austin Eruption talked about like the advertising in games, and when you play this, there's a big old like Blockbuster banner hanging behind the volleyball court. But yeah, it's not worth anything, but the scantily clad women in it were enough to draw me in. Next smallest stack is PS3. I went to the Red Barn again. This time I went with Nathan because he had never been. So I picked up a couple of PS3 games there. This is... You can't really see it because it's so dark. This is Metal Gear Solid 4. Guns of the Patriots for PS3. I think this is like... Unless you want to get all of the other Metal Gear, I think this is the only like PlayStation exclusive. As far as like modern gen, I don't really collect for PS2 and barely any PS1, so I'm not really counting those. But as far as modern gen, Metal Gear Solid 4 is exclusive to the PS3, so I grabbed that. And then I also got Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, which I really don't know exactly what the prologue's about, but it's a racing game, and it's actually not in here because it's in my PS3. I want to start playing it. I'm actually going to take my PS3 out of town with me this, well, I don't know when this video is coming out, but I'm about to go out of town for work, so I'm going to take my PS3 and play this. But, yeah. Gran Turismo 5 Prologue racing game. I haven't played any of the Gran Turismo games just yet, but I like racing games. So the Gran Turismo series is like PlayStation's, it's been with PlayStation for a long ass time. It looks like the PS4 is slightly smaller than the Xbox One stack, so we'll go with that next. I went back to Founded Electronics, and I wanted to do one of those like buying challenges where you give your friend a certain amount of money and then they buy games for you. So I did that with Nathan. I gave him $100, and we went to Founded Electronics, and this is one of the games he bought. A lot of the games in here are games Nathan bought for me. He bought me Risk of Rain 2 for the PS4, and it includes the first Risk of Rain. I have not played any of the Risk of Rain games. I hear Risk of Rain 2 is drastically different than the first Risk of Rain, but and I'm fairly certain the Risk of Rain game is on this disc. It's not like a download code, because if it was a download code, I do not have it. But yeah, Risk of Rain 2, get around to it eventually. This next game I bought at GameStop. Um, I've sort of like come back around on GameStop. A lot of these video game collectors have like revealed how kind of cool it is to find games at GameStop because they don't normally price it uh, as it sells online. But I renewed my pro membership and went back to GameStop and picked up Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter for the PS4 here. Again, this is what I'm into. So I have heard Metal Jesus Rocks talk about this. He says it's not a good game, like, whatsoever. But like I've stated in previous pickups videos, I've got a high tolerance for bad games. So I'll get around to that eventually. And then off of Play Asia, I purchased this. This is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon Chronicles. I don't believe Curse of the Moon had a physical release here in the United States. And I think there's like a version you can get from Limited Run maybe, but they're like super expensive because it's like a big box, like limited collector's edition. But the Chronicles thing has both Curse of the Moon games on it. It is a Japanese game, but it plays in English, so there's that. I played a little bit of this. Like, original Bloodstained, I like. This one is more of like a maybe 8-bit, 16-bit kind of game, like the original Castlevania. And that's not really my style of game, but I believe I had just finished the achievement hunters for Bloodstained and was like, you know what? I really love this game, Bloodstained. I need to at least give the Curse of the Moon games a shot. Because when these got announced originally, I was like, oh man, more Bloodstained. But then I saw the 8-bit style that it presented and was just not interested. But I played them, and I think I played the first 4 chapters, first 4 stages. I mean, it's fine, I suppose, but not my style of game. Next up, I bought this at Game Exchange. This is Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. It's the Steelbook version. It was only $12 at Game Exchange. It's a pretty cool Steelbook, so I was like, for $12, I'll pick that up. Apparently, this is like a strategy game. Oh, dang, that Steelbook is broke as hell. That's probably why it was only $12. But yeah. Yeah, it's apparently like, I don't know if it's a real-time strategy or turn-based strategy game, but it is a strategy game, which I don't really play, but heck, it had a cool steelbook. So next up, we got some more games that Nathan bought me from Founded Electronics. This is Mass Effect Andromeda. This is the deluxe edition. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it comes with a code. I don't know if there's anything on the actual disc that's different than the base Mass Effect game. But yeah, the deluxe edition was the exact same price at Founded Electronics as the normal game. So with a different artwork, I thought, why not? I'll have Nathan grab that one for me. What I wanted him to do is I didn't give him any input unless he asked me a question. But so he asked which one I would rather have, and I was like, the deluxe edition, because the cover art's different. But next up, I only had a few Dead or Alive games left to get on the 360, I believe. I needed Dead or Alive 5, Dead or Alive 6, and then Dead or Alive 4 I had previously purchased. So I only needed 5 and 6 when we got there. He also bought me Dead or Alive 5 on the Xbox 360 while I was there, but I recently found the Ultimate Edition at Half Price Books. So I gave him my copy of Dead or Alive 5 and kept the Ultimate version. But he bought me Dead or Alive 6 for the Xbox One. I had completely forgotten that this was even a game. When I saw Dead or Alive 5 there, I was like, oh, that's the last Dead or Alive game I needed. And then I looked down, and with the Xbox One games was Dead or Alive 6. I was like, oh, fuck, I completely forgot about that one. And then next up, the same time I bought Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter, I bought Dark Pictures Anthology House of Ashes. This is the third game in the Dark Pictures Anthology series. I haven't played a Dark Pictures game since Little Hope. This one has Ashley Tisdale in it. And I hear this one's actually pretty good. So, Little Hope really wasn't that great. I like the twist where it was all in his head was kind of cliche, but I liked Man of Medan. Eventually I'll get around to playing it. I don't know when I'll have the time, but I would like to play it one of these days. Next up, I bought this at Walmart for $10. This is Justice League Cosmic Chaos. I wanted to call it Cosmic Shake, but that's that SpongeBob game. It is a kid's game, but with it being Justice League, I have somewhat of an interest in it. I have played this a little bit. It's a beat 'em up. It's a pretty competent beat 'em up for it being a kid's game. But I bought this because most kids' games are easy achievements, like easy full completions. So that's the only reason I bought it, as well as it being $10. And so it's not the only reason. I also bought it because it's DC Comics. So I believe it's not Norm Macdonald. Diedrich Bader voices Batman in this, which apparently Diedrich Bader voiced Batman in the Brave and the Bold series. So that was kind of cool. And then this was, so far, the first and only game I've received. I have purchased another game from Limited Run, but this is the only game I've actually received from Limited Run. This is Quake 2 for the Xbox. It's apparently Limited Run's, I don't know if you can see it, Limited Run's 10th Xbox release. But, yeah. I believe this is a pretty easy full completion. It used to be on Game Pass. I don't have Game Pass anymore. It's probably still on Game Pass, but I don't pay for Game Pass Ultimate, so I don't have access to the entire library. But yeah, I bought this because it's a first-person shooter, and I believe it's an easy full completion. Plus, I don't know, I think it's just cool that there's a remastered version of Quake 2. I haven't played any of the Quake games, but I do like Doom, and Quake is made by the same people that made Doom. So I grabbed that. Next up is the huge-ass stack of Xbox 360. So, first up, this is another game Nathan bought me at Founded Electronics. This is Grid. I believe, like, the full title is, like, Grid Auto Driver or Auto Racer or something like that. Nathan knows I like racing games, so he bought this for me. And this is definitely more of my speed than like Need for Speed or something like that, because it's an actual like racing simulator game. And next up, if you've seen the Achievement Hunters Variety Hour, this game was featured in it, and unfortunately it's not very good, but I can see myself attempting to get all the achievements in it. This is Damnation, and unfortunately, my copy is not only loose, because this is reprinted artwork, but it doesn't have the manual either. It's actually, like, I don't know, like a European copy or something, but yeah, it's not a great game. I believe since the entire, like, Xbox 360 thing has taken off. I think this one's kind of gone up in price. Nathan paid $6 for it loose. I don't know how much it goes for now, but that's how much it was back then. Next up is Venetica. I know this one's gone up as well. I paid $10 for this. It does not have the manual. I think I was on Whatnot and saw this pop up for PS3 and was like, "Oh, I've never seen that game before." And I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive. And then I looked it up to see how much it was and saw there was a 360 copy. And at that time, 360 was cheaper than the PS3. So I bought it. And before I did that, I looked at the achievements, and it looks like a pretty doable achievement list. But heck, I thought Wet's achievement list was pretty doable, and that turned out to be not the case. But yeah, Venetica. Next up is Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing with Banjo-Kazooie. So the 360 version has the exclusive Banjo-Kazooie character, which is the only reason I wanted to buy the 360 version. I have played this. I played this also in the Achievement Hunters Variety Hour. My disc is kind of scratched up, so anytime I sat on the menu too long, the game would freeze. So that sucks, but it's a kart racer, which really isn't my type of racing game, but the driving felt pretty decent in it. It's not as floaty as a lot of arcade racers are. And again, so these next two games I bought from the same Whatnot seller. This is Adventure Time, Finn and Jake Investigations. I have played this on the Xbox One. It's a pretty easy full completion. I'm missing one achievement in it, but at the time when I played that, it was a missable achievement, and I would have had to replay the whole game to get it. I figure I can stack it with the 360 version and double up on some gamer score. So I picked that up, and then also got Turok for the 360. I believe he charged me, he's got it on the side here, he charged me $5 for Finn and Jake, and he charged me $10 for Turok, which at the time, I don't know if this has gone up. At the time, that was a little overpriced, but it is a 360 game I have not played. When I bought it, it didn't come with the manual. I actually bought a bunch of 360 and original Xbox cases off of Shop Goodwill, and Turok happened to be in there, and it had the manual, so I added it to my copy. So it worked out in the end. I have yet to play this. I actually spun it in the Variety Hour, but I'd already played too many shooters and just did not feel like playing this. Next up is one of the heavier... I really don't like that term, the heavy hitter. It's one of the games that have gone up in price on Xbox 360. This is Ninja Blade. I think when I bought this, mine is a loose copy and has writing on the disc. Well, it's not loose. It's missing the manual. When I bought this, I think I paid $17 for it. And when I gave up on Wet, I played this one for a little bit because I was like, look, if I'm not going to play Wet anymore, I at least want to play a few of the games that I've purchased recently. So I put this in, and I think it's gross. The quick time events I can tolerate, but that opening scene where like the Japanese schoolgirl transforms into some monster, it was just so gross that I do not want to play this again. Granted, I could have skipped the cutscene when it was happening, but I have this thing where even if it's something that I really don't want to see, if it's on TV, I just cannot avert my eyes. I don't know what sort of condition that is, but when I was a kid, if my parents were watching a horror movie and I happened to walk past the TV, I would stop dead and just stare at it, even though I know what I'm seeing right now is going to give me nightmares. But yeah, I don't want to play this ever again. That opening scene just gave me the heebie-jeebies. I literally like laid in bed that night and it kept me up because I just about to knock games and shit over. I just kept thinking about it. Next up, another game I bought on Whatnot. This is Guitar Hero Metallica. Before even the Xbox 360 had its renaissance, I was wanting to get all of the Guitar Hero games on 360. And at that time, Guitar Hero, Metallica, Smash Hits, and Warriors of Rock were the most expensive. I think at that time, Smash Hits was maybe a $30 game. I think it's gone up to like $40 now. But I think I paid $35 for this off of Whatnot. I have played it. I played it when it came out. I'm not a big Metallica fan, but when I originally played it, for whatever reason, I couldn't even get past the second song on Expert. When I replayed it recently, I don't know what the heck was wrong with me, because I'm worse at Rock Band now than I would, and Guitar Hero. I'm worse at Guitar Hero and Rock Band now than I was back then. Maybe I just didn't have my heart in it and just gave up, but I was able to beat the campaign on Expert, so I don't know what the heck was going on. Probably this next few these next few 360 games I bought from a coworker. He sold me his Xbox 360 and then a bunch of games for I think like $60, I think. And I got Penguins of Madagascar, Dr. Blowhole Returns again. This is an Xbox 360 Connect game. And it was also featured in the Achievement Hunters Variety Hour. I liked the Penguins of Madagascar cartoon back on Nickelodeon. So I was like, you know what? I'll get that just because I actually like the Penguins of Madagascar. It seems like a pretty easy achievement list. I got the 100 gamer score, I think, in 7 minutes. So, yeah. I may go back and get all of them in that one of these days. I also bought Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. This kind of started my Tom Clancy's collection. I now want to get all of the Tom Clancy's games. At the point of filming this, I'm only missing Blacklist. As we continue with the 2024 pickups, I'll be getting more of those. But yeah, this is what started it all. And then I also bought from him Halo 3 ODST. It does have the manual and then both discs, so that's cool. I'm not really going to play the Xbox 360 version of ODST. If I want to play ODST again, I'll just play the version on Master Chief Collection. This is actually the only Halo I haven't beat on Lasso, because it wasn't required for the Lasso Master. Reach wasn't either, but when my brother and I started doing that, our initial goal was to play the entire Halo series in chronological order on Lasso, but it took us 2 years just to do Reach 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we skipped over Halo 3 ODST to kind of save some time. We had plans to go back and play it, but never did. This is the last game I picked up from my coworker. This is Warhammer 40k Space Marine. This was also featured in the Achievement Hunters Variety Hour. It's a pretty decent Gears of War clone. They're actually making a sequel to this, which is pretty cool. So I'll need to finish this one before that comes out, because what I played of this, I did actually enjoy the game, so I would like to pick up that sequel whenever it comes out. So I'll need to finish this one before then. And then another game I got at the Red Barn in Waxahachie is Iron Man 2. Again, movie tie-in games, kids games, stuff of that ilk are pretty easy full completions. I know nothing about this. I don't know how it plays, but it's a movie tie-in game, so it'll be pretty easy to get all the achievements. It's also using, it looks like Robert Downey Jr. there, and then I can't remember his name, but the guy that played Rhodes. It looks like they used his likeness for War Machine and Iron Man. So that's pretty cool. This next game, I did not realize until I started doing this. I just happened to open it. This is Army of Two 40th Day. I bought this at the Red Barn as well, and the game ain't even fucking in there. That fucking sucked. God damn it. I don't know why I didn't look in this. Son of a bitch. So now I've got to get the fucking game because I have the other two games in the Army of Two series. Fucking hell. I bought this game at Game Exchange. This is Dead or Alive 4. At the time of me buying this, I thought Dead or Alive 5 was the last game I needed for the Dead or Alive series. They have it marked as Dead or Alive 5. I don't know if 5 was cheaper than 4 at the time of purchasing this, but I wasn't going to tell them. I have played a little bit of this because this was one I took over to play at Nathan's when we played a bunch of fighting games. Nathan also bought me Battle of Fantasia when we went to Founded Electronics and did that whole Nathan buys me a bunch of games, and I did not like it, so I sold it. I bought Battle of Fantasia at that time for $9, and I sold it, I think, for like $13, and now it's gone up in price because it's an uncommon game on the 360. I'm not really salty about it. I don't care. I didn't like the game, so if people want to pay whatever they're asking for it now, that's good for them. I don't think it's worth whatever they pay, but that's kind of crazy. Next up, the final game here is Halo Reach, and I believe I bought this, I got this in a random lot, probably off of Shop Goodwill, or not Shop Goodwill, because I've only used Shop Goodwill that one time I bought the game cases, probably Goodwill finds. This is Halo Reach. Halo Reach is probably my favorite Halo. I really like the story in Halo Reach. Again, if I'm going to play Halo Reach, I'll play the Xbox One version in the Master Chief Collection. But, yep, I don't really know when this series of pickups was. Let's just say February into March. Seems like probably about right. I still have several other sheets of pickups that I've purchased this year, so if you want to see those, consider subscribing. If there are any games you recommend I pick up, leave them in the comments down below. If you like the video, leave a like. But other than that, check back next time for whatever I do. Bye-bye!